Hi, everybody, and welcome to SA Rugby Magazine. We're just going to have a look. We're trying to give it a perspective, a bit of conspiracy.
Why does that word come up every time?
No, I'll introduce a couple of things. You can tell me what you think. I know. So, thanks for. I know Mark's sick today.
Yes.
So I know you guys are going to do your show tomorrow. So
Yeah.
I sort of volunteered.
Cool, great.
To come and do something with you. And let's look at the game on the weekend. I mean, after Italy were dismantled by New Zealand,
Yeah.
which again raises calls for South Africa be in the Six Nations,
yeah.
and rightfully so. But after that dismantling, New Zealand has now dropped into second favourite at 35-10.
Okay.
The first favourite is South Africa at 33-10.
Right.
Second favourite is France at 33-10, or Ireland at 33-10,
Yeah.
and then France at 35-10. So it's
Right.
almost a dead heat
Right.
in terms of betting.
Okay.
There's four clear favourites. Unfortunately for the watching public, they're playing each other in the quarterfinals, which is not great. But let's talk about the game last night. I didn't see a lot from the Boks. I don't get why Sia Khaleesi's playing 80 minutes. Why Eben's playing 80 minutes. You know, they could have easily taken a knock or whatever. I think there's something going on in the Buck camp that we don't know about.
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
There's not. I thought that thinking about how, South Africa the best team in that tournament for me still, but they're not going to get out of the quarterfinals.
You don't think so?
Not now.
How? Explain it to me. What happens?
I just think that it's not in the Rugby World Cup's best interests for South Africa to advance. When I think about all the stuff, the chickens are going to come home to roost, I think, in the quarterfinals with France.
Okay.
Because of all the stuff Rassie's done around the refereeing. Whereas who's the head of refereeing?
Yeah, so it's a Frenchman. I can't remember his name. But yeah, it's a Frenchman who's in charge of refereeing.
It's a sport, yeah. So there's the first.
Yeah.
There's the first conspiracy.
Yeah, yeah.
You then have Rassie, who's been critical of the refs, violently so.
Yeah.
You know, if gender can be a violent thing, or Jesus saves a violent act, then Rassie hasn't been good on the refs. It's been a tumultuous relationship, to say the least.
Yes.
You then have the narrative of the French, who stole this World Cup bid, in my opinion.
Agreed.
And as I say, we heard someone say in the sports department, Bernard Laporte's not going to jail for nothing. I don't know what that means, but I assume
that guy's got a great sense of humor.
He does, yeah. And the fact that he's spent a bit of time in jail probably means he did something wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just making the leap that it's not difficult to come to this assumption.
I can totally see that.
That Rugby World Cup doesn't want South Africa to go through. He's abused the referees. You've got a head French referee. It's all working against Rassie right now.
Yeah. And I think that's the way they like it. And I also think that's the only way...
There used to be a song called that, wasn't it? I like it.
Thank goodness we're great at sport, Kev, because neither of us can sing. But what I think is that is the only way the Boks get kicked out of this World Cup.
I agree.
Is by a ref or by an injury, more so by a ref. I thought the officiating in that Tonga Bok game was great. There was an opportunity for Luke
I didn't think it was great.
to send people off, and he opted not to, and I thought that was fantastic. He actually kept his eye on the ball, and he understood what rugby is about. There were a few incidental incidents.
Yeah, they're always going to be in a subjective sport, right?
Yeah.
Especially when the referee's
Exactly.
telling the teams how to play, get offside.
Exactly.
It's the only sport in the world that I know that. And when I look, what
League's worse, right?
look, we have time to reflect on the World Cup because there's no games to distract us. As you
Yes.
said to me earlier, and it's like a beautiful thing to say because you're right.
Yeah.
We have no distractions, and we've actually come to realize how shit this World Cup is.
Yeah.
A team like Romania if they get an entry into a World Cup, what state is the lower tiers in Rugby World Cup? And it's proven. I mean, the old bastards that run World Rugby, They don't
Run it into the ground.
They've run it into the ground.
Exactly.
We are no better. I remember Romania in 95, 91 being a much stronger
team.
team.
Yeah.
You know, Canada, what happened to them?
Yeah.
The USA, they're not there.
100%.
It's like, and Australia, when they beat, win a scrum against Portugal.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's like, so the state of rugby is in disrepair.
I agree
in my
with that.
opinion.
Yeah.
So you've got now that it would be disastrous for the French to go out on an already bad World Cup. And they put too much in it to go out.
I mean, literally, Dupont's put his face on the line. I mean, the guy's back in training, ready to go. So
Yeah, so I hope and pray that I'm wrong, but I honestly believe that we get to the quarters and that's it.
that'll be a disappointing end for us, man.
It will be, but I think that as long as I put it out there and we start to digest that,
Brace
the
yourself.
poison will be a lot less.
Okay, so France go through. They beat the Boks. Knock them out of the quarterfinals.
To me, South Africa are playing against 16 and a half men.
Right.
And Charlie Sheen's not
So, in the context of what the bookies have got as the favourites to win the World Cup, how does that slant your
betting.
Your betting?
Look, I think that Ireland's going to go out in the quarterfinals as well. I think the two better teams are going out in the quarterfinals.
Right. So New Zealand,
so
France.
I like New Zealand, France, and 3-2, 7-2 on each. That's got to be the best. Last week I was so convinced, but after seeing Sia playing for 80 minutes and Eben, I sense there's still some wranglings in the Bok team. I don't think they're 100%. That's a huge. Those two playing for 80 minutes is a big tell for me on something.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on, but something's going on.
You don't think they kept that experience on there because they know that they needed to get the bonus point in?
No reason. Sorry, repeat that thing. There's absolutely no reason to keep those two players on the field against Tonga.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No. So something's going on.
Okay.
I obviously do not privy to it, but as someone that's followed sports for 110 years.
You're dating yourself.
Yeah. Well,
If only you could.
I was dug up last week. So there's something going wrong. You still think the Boks?
I think I think the Boks are just too powerful, and I agree with all your sentiments around what's happened to World Rugby at the hands of the people that say they're in charge. But you know, I just think that the strength and power of that Bok pack, especially with Andre back now and them reverting to more of a low risk, high efficiency game. I think they'll be a hell of a tough team to beat. Having said that, the Boks are very reliant on the ref playing the game because they need scrum penalties to get field position. And if the ref doesn't play ball there, that kind of robs them of their field position. So,
well, also, I was disappointed. Sorry.
No.
Is the Malcolm Max factor.
Yeah.
For me. He's such besides the fetching, besides his fitness all over the park, his throwing at lineouts is exceptional. And Bongi is not as good as Malcolm at that. And what we saw, the Boks lost a few lineouts yesterday. And I can guarantee you the French will be watching and do the same thing by putting two jumpers in front.
At the front. So I think Bongi's great at lineout time, and yesterday they operated at close to 95% efficiency, but Dion Fourie is not a hooker in the same mold as Malcolm Marx. He doesn't have the experience. And when the going gets tough, I doubt he's going to have the same fortitude to sort of push through it. So that is a potential weakness.
Look, no, the biggest weakness is when you look at betting on something, you often look at the outcome that most people want, or what, you know, it's like when a team falls behind 1-0, the outcome they're thinking about is not a win, it's a draw, you know, and that psychology. Now the World Rugby, they proved they wanted France to have the World Cup, even though we were better. And I think SARugbymag did an expose on that a year or two ago. They want France to continue because it's been a disaster. Because it's been a disastrous World Cup. And is that a conspiracy? I don't think so.
Well, I was going to say, mate, you are flirting with the conspiracy guys here.
It's liable even.
But I like it. But I mean, I totally see what you're saying. It's difficult to argue against it because, like we've said, I mean, to kind of steal the World Cup and then go out in the quarters against the the sort of most villainous team on the planet, who've gone out of their way to kind of show you the middle finger.
Yeah.
That's a big call. It's a big call to make that happen.
Well, what would be a conspiracy would be saying, well, Nick Berry's refereeing Scotland, Ireland.
Exactly.
And if Scotland win by 21 points, the Boks are out of the World Cup. Now, that would be a conspiracy.
But now, that would be a much easier thing for World Rugby to control and solve, right, than having France beat the Boks without Antoine Dupont at his best and Intermac in that quarterfinal. Take the heat off that game.
Well, the problem is with that is if Scotland, and if my aunt had balls, she'd be my aunt. When I grew up, she'd just be confused now.
She can be whatever she wants to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Non-binary, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, if Scotland beat Ireland by 21.
Yes.
The entire credibility of the Rugby World Cup, the governing body, would be in tatters.
Spot on.
So that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, if it was 4 or 5, then we're in play.
Also, like, Ireland has got too much to lose because there are so many permutations there. Ireland could find themselves without a seat when the music stops. So I don't think they're going to indulge in that game because it could cost them.
Oh, it made me go back to my memories. What was that?
Musical chairs?
That's it.
What a great game.
I sucked at it. I was too kind.
No, you sit down.
After you, say vous. So, we digress.
Nice guys finish last.
Exactly. So, that's a conspiracy. And that's one that I've heard, and I've said, guys, come on.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Surely
wild.
not.
Never
say never, as McGrew
But it
said.
is. But listen, in terms of the narrative, it is hell of a interesting that this whole story, which began with Russie putting this video together on how terrible Nick Berry is, kind of reaches its conclusion in a must-win game from a Bok perspective for Ireland at the World Cup.
Well, some people would call it karma, wouldn't they? If whatever unfolds, and if it's against the Boks, then that's sort of the comic universe just paying out its dues.
Some people would.
Yeah, I'm not one of them. But we'll see.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Look, I'm hoping the Boks are going to go through, Kev.
So am I. Don't get me wrong. I want the Boks. I'll be cheering for the Boks.
Yeah, my money's on the Boks to meet the All Blacks in the final. As much as that'll be completely counter-narrative, no Northern Hemisphere teams in the final, I think that's the way it may go.
Yeah, I don't really care about the Northern Hemisphere being represented. You know, we may get there at some stage.
Yes.
With the world, with the organizations banning Delilah thing. Maybe they'll just give a representative thing where the North has to be represented. I don't discount anything.
Buckle up.
But hopefully I've shed my mortal coils by that time, and I won't give a toss.
Yes.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kev.
90 games for South Africa.